Sup flappers, welcome to another video, and today I come to you in peace. Alright, I know there's gonna be a lot of people who disagree with a lot of the things that I have to say in this video, and just because we disagree doesn't mean we have to hate each other. I mean, you're free to hate me, you're free to leave nasty comments, that's all in your right, but I just hope you listen to what I have to say here and truly think about the current situation and why it ends up like this. I try my best to present you points from both sides of the party, both from, let's say, EroticWalruss, the community, and the community itself is divided into multiple parts, right? There are people who want the game to be more horizontal, have a bunch of different things that you can do in the game, and all of them half-baked, you could say, currently, and some just want the game to go in one singular direction, whether it be combat, whether it be slice of life, whether it be sims, whether it be mini games, whether it be whatever, because Genshin has a lot to offer. At current state of Genshin, it doesn't spend much time developing any of the features that itself implemented into the game. So today I want to talk about patch 2.6, some of the good, some of the bad, and I've done a poll, and the poll shows that many people are actually very excited for 2.6, and I can tell you guys why that is, and why at the same time there are many people who are very displeased with the game, right? And if you've watched any other content creators covering this same topic, you'll quickly realize that the community is extremely divided, and at this point you can even say there are polar opposites of huge sub-communities within Genshin Impact that wants the game to go into complete opposite directions. And with that said, let's get right into the video. Patch 2.6 livestream happened a couple days ago, and while I was watching it, I started noticing myself nodding and just accepting to the fact that EroticWalruss wants the game to be more horizontal, more diverse, and not so combat focused, even though if you go look at Genshin Impact ads, they try very hard to sell the combat. At least back in the day when I first started, that's what they were selling this game on. And nowadays, if you go look at Genshin ads, they've tried their best to not go as hard when it comes to combat. They try to sell the world exploration, they try to sell the characters, they're trying to sell the different features of the game, and sometimes you even get these really cringy ones where you get people who's like, how did you level up so fast, right? I'm sure you guys have seen those, but what I'm trying to say is Genshin Impact itself is selling its features in different areas now. It's not like combat is the only thing that it leans on to be profitable. Currently, it's safe to still say that no game can rival Genshin when it comes to its character diversity, its combat complexity, nor its open world presence and general graphic design, fluidity, right? I think even with the 7 Deadly Sins releasing very soon, it's going to be difficult to rival to Genshin's level, because 7 Deadly Sins, from what I see, is not multi-platform, so Genshin is able to take mobile players, PlayStation players, PC players, and kind of meld them into one, where many other titles just have failed to do at this level. I mean, Genshin's graphics are superb, Genshin's combat is very satisfying to play, and overall, I just think Genshin is still a well-designed game. Whether you want to say that it is a good game, that's up to you. Now, the many problems I see people having with 2.6 is that it's more of the same, more of this repetitive stuff, grindy and recycled content that just feels like MiHoYo is either on hiatus or getting complacent, and some even go as far as saying lazy. Now, my combatant to that is, with the past few patches, I've been consistently saying, I've started to understand more and more what Genshin Impact or EroticWalruss wants Genshin Impact to be, and it's never meant to be this combat focused game that we all thought and want it to be. I myself have essentially given up on wanting Genshin to be an essentially combat focused, combat driven game. Like I said in a previous video, this game is much more like an enhanced 2020 Sims game. It's like a Sims role-playing game more than it's an action role-playing game. I think that's the biggest difference. If going forward anybody asks me about Genshin Impact, I would promote it and tell people, hey, expect it to be more of a Sims type game rather than an action RPG game. There are just too many features EroticWalruss have implemented into this game that detracts from its combat-based content to continue saying that this game revolves around combat. No, it does not. Combat has now simply become one of the many features the game has to offer. While being a strong and very attractive feature, it is but one of many. But to many people, of course, they hang on to this. They came for the combat and they just want to enjoy the combat. They could care less about the lore, about the teapot, about the characters, whatever. They don't care about the exploration, the collectibles. They just want to fight. They just want to get their characters. They just want to see big numbers. They want to see cool action sequences when their characters can dash through the air and do hundreds of thousands of damage. That's all they care about. And to them, Genshin has been a letdown. Even I can attest to that, right? If your goal in this game is to get combat, to get stronger, to fight difficult opponents, you're gonna be let down for the foreseeable future, because I can see Genshin and HoYoverse, they don't want to develop the game vertically, at least not yet, and there's no signs whatsoever that tells you that they want to scale the game vertically. With all the ads targeted towards beginning players, showcasing how easy it is to progress in this game, how quick and intuitive it is to play through the early game, and how you can blast through multiple levels in the short span of just a week or two, right? Tips and tricks and stuff like that. None of the Genshin ads have ever once highlighted its complex combat system that allows you to delve deep into synergies with different characters to push content, difficult content. In fact, they've actively chosen not to show any of it. Why? Because they have no plans to develop that area in the game. You advertise where you're going to put more efforts into. You advertise what you think the audience that you want to attract wants to see, right? HoYoverse is a multi-billion-dollar company at this point. They're not stupid. If anything, they're good at baiting in new players. And when you're baiting in new players, you want them to stay for at least a month or two. Let them see a couple patches. And trust me, when Sumeru drops, they're gonna then go to advertise the beautiful scenery, the beautiful region of Sumeru. I've come across different YouTubers who are sponsored by Genshin Impact, and their whole spiel and pitch is welcome to this grand game where you can delve into different slice of life aspects, and very rarely, if any, they have a segment that talks about combat, and they almost never mention the reaction system. It's just like there is engaging combat in the game of Genshin Impact, and damn, move on to the next point. They never talk about it. And with all this, if you're still holding on hope, saying damn, why didn't they release more endgame content, more diversified content for combat systems, I don't know what to tell you. You are barking up the wrong tree. This is not the game for you. HoYoverse has no plans in the near future for any sort of combat related content release. Maybe they want to wait until they finish the whole storyline, or maybe they just want to wait until the new element drops before they develop more ways to engage us in combat. And looking at the new event where you get the parry and enemy, we're looking at potential developments into the combat system before we get new combat content, if that makes sense, right? So I feel it's very cheap for me to just say, hey, be patient. At this point, I think a lot of people have been very patient. Giving a game a year and sometimes two is more than anybody will give anything in the age of the internet. 2 years is a long freaking time. I think people fail to understand the difference in time scaling we're talking about here. If we're talking about 2 years in real life, like, yeah, it's kind of long, but not too bad, right? But 2 years on the internet is a really long time. So I'm not going to sit here and say be patient with the game. I'm telling you, the game will get combat-based content releases once its combat systems are more fleshed out. Currently, there are imbalances in the reaction system. A new element is on the way, and potentially in the future, even potential weapons, right, gonna come into the game. And I think HoYoverse wants to scale things properly. They want to do proper horizontal scaling, make sure all the combat systems are in place before they scale it up vertically, which could take some time. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry if 2.6 is a disappointing patch, but for many, like people in my community, they're actually looking forward to it, and myself included. I've learned to love Genshin for what it is, and I've looked elsewhere for my combat cravings that I have for RPG games. So I urge you all to do the same as well if you do have the time and the devices to operate those games. With that said, I hope you guys enjoy patch 2.6. Truly, I think we're going to be in for a ride over the next few patches, especially when it comes to story advancements, as well as more artifacts to grind to power up older characters. Granted, how much boost those artifacts will give your old characters, that's for a different video. Alright, with that said, I hope you guys all stay safe and peace. I'll see you guys next time.